Next special. Majiatu.
Jitumpa na kwe.
Majiatu. Me that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Prof Maji. Hey, na pension baby today.
No,
you not to me chayo. Say 20 BB cry. Hey, my sweetheart pension baby, Mafia. Belated birthday wishes. If any money into a special June born.
Yo, Mate.
Or a June born.
Yo. Now, Kwame.
Debbie.
Pension baby, na say anything.
Just the last one.
Oh, Samu.
And you had to call pension. Send a chino be a baby, especially when you're Fika Crown.
Ah, okay. Nanka, media. Anyway,
because Nana after 60, your Colabia won't be a pension baby.
But wait.
In fact, from 50 something, but now late 40s. No.
Kwame.
Nana.
Pension baby, I can say. Yes, we did by 23. No, pension.
There be time and papa they won.
Nasa now this is the.
No, I do 47 as a 48.
47 no pension.
Now only must be free by. One day open you didn't go school. Saturday we be 5. Now okwa fan school. Props you do Ochia teacher now so we be Mafia. Mafia, grandpa is here. Because I had so that we wait. Grandpa is here. It Nana come out the end the grandpa is here.
Okay.
On the grandpa raised to the power
and then proper pension
Baby.
45 there then a pension.
But 50 nothing I'll compare crash amount bar.
On be could try ono so kuta opoma no ma.
Now you wundru no ma.
Now we be 90 no. Now we be 60.
Oh, so bad na nana no ma ba.
Aza.
Ai, na nana no ma ba ti.
Me tia say pension is on the no pension.
O de no pension. Say on the no pension.
We are over pension no say di be.
Oh, me on na me de no pension.
Onya ho adaje.
Na so on the no pension.
Onya ho.
Share. On the papa. Don't go there. 7023 oh. And look at the lotto number 2370. Hey, pension baby ne papa.
Ya mani trinkwa.
Ya danya miase. Mi hu no edi be 5 or 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Na say when you
ah ba na be tram in chewa ha. E cha me see me sweetheart. No be tram in chewa kiti wa ha. Wa bing na o a chartered accountant also.
Oh. Why are
Yes.
Baby.
Yes.
Wow. No, that's impressive.
Cotton one
no, that's impressive. That's super impressive.
I didn't super impressed.
At 23.
Nana, a month for a year till they retired. Woman professional. A month for a year.
I said, oh yeah, Professor Ba.
Watch yourself, cotton one number.
And I did the cry brow the tray and then you brepa. Nani niana kam last year.
Papa, nani niani ho.
Sabre.
Wow.
And not tray.
Being or being.
Being or being. Well.
Yeah, Danyamiasi.
We're being.
Pension baby.
Professor Banso and so boy. Because baby, I will be far with your library.
Also, to me, can be. But we're a linguistics professor, and now we are chartered accountant.
But the
poles apart.
Professor is the spirit.
The spirit is there.
Yeah.
The spirit of excellence in academia.
Oh, but catch from some mini cocoa food. Into Diane.
Investment.
I'm catch on say. Me where you be so soon now treat a crime or can be am sad this is from out.
It's any mountain.
It is Shama treat
a tiam the basis of
the basis of amount.
Prof Mo
At the Yamias.
Yamania Danasi. Adigi.
Chairman General.
Machi Bokode.
Yamiadu Chairman.
Yeah, that's no adaje.
Miss Midas said my friend.
Aye.
Na Mamincha, the Republic of Gamaga for you.
And then they want to be pa say and now a sanla.
Chairman.
I think we are Muslim.
Oh yes.
Okay. No, I want invite you.
I've had one who they are watching.
Watch it.
Now they on tune this and friend better than me.
No, economy na tight.
Nipa no mutun san. Nipa no mutun san om the economy.
Oh, chese ebia. Oh, Chairman, yes nyina nkrofo bebria omuti abem. Enyo mu ya na esu. Ndio mu de otun safra wa is out here.
Oh, so here.
Yeah, my sister.
So nipa no motun sa fre no boni abamu.
Any business go
ye. G2 next year. Frey.
No, ye dia na me fraud do. Ye dia.
Me kwa me ne opanya here.
Me see ye me fra mu.
Me kwa opanya here.
Enti yambo mpa na munye adwumaden na economy munye ye. Na ye
Ubetonsa.
In fact, me the cash crown the best one. Every Muslim and everybody who joined in the celebration, belated can say Eid Mubarak, and I think the story about Eid al-Adha, there are many religions. I mean,
the sacrificial story.
Yes, yeah, Orthodox religions,
Tell Abraham and Isaac.
And Ishmael. But Isaac.
Abraham and Isaac.
Oh, okay. And your friend Ismail and then Ibrahim. Yeah.
Ibrahim and Ismail.
So these are stories that almost every Abrahamic religion relates with, except Eastern religions, our entire religions, Shintoism, Buddhism, some of them are different. But every religion that traces its origin to Abraham, so that story, a story that every religion relates to. Until it was a celebration for Yenina. Let
me write on the back of that. I mean, Bissau said, former President Mahamaka said we should show compassion and for the well-being of all. Osansuka said, let's pray for peace and success of upcoming election. Vice President flag bearer for MPP Dr. Bamiatuka said the December poll should focus on policies, not religion. Just all these three came up out of celebration. Any comments on that?
I think that former President Mahama Khan no quite because Ghana you were on mind back, and I'm not sure any of these candidates would want to preside over a broken country and a destroyed country. And the Omumpire and say, and I in empire and say, you be elections, so now Ghana is still intact, so that you bet me Akake Huabum, I'm a Ghana Tumpon Kodusa and Pensuana. We all feel say as a Ghana could do until his call was right on point, and it should not just end at the speeches of Yempenyum for. I think it should be seen manifesting in the actions of Yempenyum for any Obibiara Odinichi. Sometimes, Chairman, one slip and everybody else is up the creek. Kasemu ni yemu on until. On occasions like these, you're paying for no kasakama. But mutisi campaigns na fi kasanasasa. And this sometimes tend to say things that can be hurtful to our collective peace, Nti near mampenyin that akai me nene yadrin and me bona baso. And I hope it would find expression in their comments, in their kind of saying messages as they go about their campaigns. Na enti eno de eno anu na nyamampenyi nyamampenyi be di chisu kan no. I think it's not just be about the 2024 elections. Every other election should be about policies and ideas, not religion. Ghana in principle is supposed to be a secular state.
Yes, it is.
Which means there's a separation between religion and then the state. Until any state religion like elsewhere, maybe to say
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia and Iran. They try to have a state religion. Until I don't know, almost some different. But Ghana is a secular state.
How do you be asked from your pay?
Where the right to freely worship near OPBA is allowed by law. Until Ghana is a secular state. Until ye penina, our focus should not be Sumba no sum. What if we Nipana ye tumana obetimi amagana tumpono a traditionalist. Because yen sum penalty yen to abano emanana. I think when it comes to affairs of the state, religion should have no role to play at all. But Ghana, we are drifting and are gravitating towards a point whereby becoming a president to some degree, should be contingent on suma wosum. And I think it's a big problem. Because what it means is obi wa a Hindu, obi wa a Buddhist, adia ono sujidi say I didn't be ko bibia opeso okono no. Nti say you see because of Sajidi you are precluded from ever becoming the leader of this country. I think that is unfair. And a lot of the time, you focus near on religion. The main issues that should drive your decisions get dwarfed. For example, issues about education, economy, security, health, and the rest of them. No, I say ye TM pinyin and I am passionate about issues of natural resources. Oh, because I keep making this point. Say, look, say ye to me managing natural resources here. Chairman, going to capital markets to borrow as if we did. Because we have more than enough. Yankupa shraying. But our problem with Shirayen, it has said. Yam problem now say we have not been able to manage the resources optimally. Yam problem no. And say your opinion for person we should be interested in knowing. So uba abodi a Nyankopon ana sesa ne kan ha Nyankopon edi ashraga na man no adwinmen na wo fam se na be ye nyina betimi nya ho mfaso nti my vote should be based on your obeka me regarding how you are going to manage my natural resource. My vote should be based on uba ya kan say ya pomodin sem no sesia bibie gina ni but ye pese koduru ha ABCD na pese me sene be betimi edi an koduru sa pempenso no. And look, when him said the conversation about life expectancy has moved. Now the focus is on health expectancy. As I said, German life expectancy and say the average age obedi ansa na sebi we free. But when him say obetimi yari by 10 years ansa na we.
No correct, thank you.
And the focus is on health expectancy. So you would be in good and strong health. That's the focus now. Can you like care about health expectancy? You can say life expectancy.
Yeah.
Say like can say feel say nache. But say here any channel any apomodin and say nam. And it's not just about life expectancy, but the conversation is now about health expectancy. And Ghana I have said this before. I know because the Oko Ministry of Health and Bibisa, but I think it's either ineffectual and na yen ye. We should have an arrangement be our chairman. There should be the provision of health intelligence at every point in time. Says ya kanino na adia na Ghana for years kesi HIV and AIDS because I na kunkumye. Says ya malaria, hypertension, diabetes, any new chronic diseases are by. And cancer cry is now become one of the major ekum Ghana for. And most of these sicknesses and functions of lifestyle changes and so forth. And at the end to make sure say we are able to deal with them. And I'm interested in listening to Obia Obekachem say I want to shift the focus from life expectancy to health expectancy. Niameye ABCD especially a basa yariwa aba me can say yariwo fufra but they've always been with us but CCRD as they've become very pronounced. Enti minti can say because nipana or ka ABCD abetimi aboa me no suma also menene nyadwe ana min sum sa sum nti min to abanama no. At the end of the day you are hurting the state, you are hurting your very self in favor of religion. Religion should be anke personal. Unti mene omampenya be di chia or MPP for can so ya adwin say the focus should be on ideas, on policy. Chairman, as for positions, the obia to occupy position. Obia to occupy position. Udi win power na famo obia ni obia be tima ye bibia. But the biggest hurdle, the biggest and the major headache of politicians is ideation. How to sit and think about ideas. Chairman and that form. And that should be the biggest responsibility of political parties and candidates. Say you bet nasi adwin o man no or how are you winning? What are the solutions we can proffer? Well, until you ideate, you come up with ideas and then now policies as a result of the ideas you've come up with, you know. Na yenso yenya asum ATM. Then when I'm making a decision, I did have an informed choice, you know. Any nyoma ombeka chen and on the basis of nyoma na ya titi, you know, we go to take a decision. And every informed choices and informed decisions, you know. Until meaning ya religion we all identify with one religion or the other. Not even having a religion is religion in itself, in my view. Until ile campaigner ombe mesre and chairman, I think the Muslim for you should be exacting ideas from these politicians and candidates. And yeah, it's not just enough to have interviews and they'll campaign no cause saying the focus should be on take a sector and then Misha candidate here and our party penny sector way who research. These are the challenges we found. Baby Yedrinier with some statistics. Confront Nipan, okay, what is your solution to the problem? That is how our Musubebwa electorates, Amomaya informed choices. But if Dano or Mobana or Bedin Komo, they only update you on their campaigns and so on and so forth. I think say Mbwa. Until every one of us your responsibility say we will encourage them to tell us their ideas and their policies. We encourage them to explain the ideas and policies to us in the simplest terms possible.
Okay.
It's one thing to come up with the policy, is another to explain it for a man for to understand. And to say, oh, the policy in Bana and Tiasia no cry, bibi or dia. Now, umboying or man for na yebe to abano. And it's also another very, very important issue. So would the idea number, would the policy number, make it clear, make it simple, and at the end of the day, betu abana, yenim say, even if I vote for a candidate when we need, I know in my heart of hearts I voted based on ideas, I voted based on choices. I mean, you can send policies. But the majority of Ghana benefits say these are superior ideas, these are superior policies. And yes, Anna, na ye kabina min kabi amamuno, ye manu. We have got Ghana has grown democratically, and we've got to the point where people should begin to appreciate the value of the vote. And I mean, I'm not saying that you still have core party supporters, but even core party supporters they want to be convinced that my party me better about money. At least it has the ideas to transform this country and to take it to the next level.
Okay.
And the two cause are in order. And yeah, bompa is ye baby elections so na chairman ye nyina betimi asa betina ha aka na yesi ye na DB ayasresem na yakoyenim.
Nana, any comments?
Kwame medase. Na na mpanyifo mi no kan ye no.
Yes.
Na tika kan enya so mejitum. No mo kanya nsemo a ese ye de kwadwin atwen mu.
Adwendwem.
Yera President Mahama say, we should be compassionate. Yes, ye. Tima. Tima. I am share. Yenya tima. Yenya mobro. Yenya.
Atenkani I am share.
Just wana. Bidia chini. Ufano religion. Minim a sombia say Muslim or say Christian Christo say Buddhist
na person ka Zoroaster na said
sense so be omunji wento. In fact, all the religions we compassion was center utie Yesu Christo ni preaching na Muslim crowd o hwe omune you sadaka enya sadaka na fe e bi ansa nura me sen kesen ka friend nanka o hwe odoni oni mobo ya ozi onis go
o ze mudie mi be chere say economy na tim dimi dru pempenso bi but e bi mu a omo hwe dan
say it's part of the religion.
Yes, how do me example
na say e dey home community am it's part of Muslim for religion that say dua I say o chere ye ma fra say ade ba kwa na e ka mi tripa sadaka no mo ti apon koso ne to tofe man kola e me ni chi ho pa what about religion no chere sa say mo bohu ni atinka Christo so sa uko Buddhist na also sa na problem ne kakra ne say ya na ya nkasa yen pressure ntia na ye refi so ye nim say a part of your nature. So
you shoot nearby.
You shoot nearby. See a better or donny mobrohun ya tinka. But sometimes na wankasa nso problem na urefi to be hu say obi kra te lolly kwan ho na bia mo akakra bi but also problem to na urefi enti me fa say na ye represent Mohammed Ken o twen adwen abaso oboy enkai say ye call ye benya no enye ebi kra na ohwehwe no nsan kai but obetimi aboa obi enti oboy enkai mejitum na ye rab Dr. Bamianso Ken and also mejitum ba I mean election there
yes or no
in election team nipa be ahine vote be 13 million ni obi ani na ohwe so obi o hwe party o say once o me party there hold be to afa obi o ha obehwe nipa yi baby free I mean these are realities obi a baby free no obehwe one take it and cry school cry or cry obi be kase o dey me ne go school nti media no na me kwa kwhwe say we are bema we are ba and also betimi influence you obi kwan obefa so sana wo fiscal structure
unyenje mu obobire
sana obobire okay
sana nyame si born so ya tenten
so ya person sana nyame fiscal appearance sana obobire the kind of bobbery and also obi wo ha no so na ohwe na because those days you need a president for campaign Kaneshi sick Kaneshi market na later man can tell him say papa no pie no so no mo hwe say no 10 gram no se bibi to so
quick menele kai ni agbonwa
enti and also count of course religion is so can we so because so be na so don't say bia and on the hian but na about me I can say necessary ye hwe no titru pa and they say nipa no a obase anto aba mano na dream pa a obekere afa omane ho ne nisu ade hu so ba so na minyu atike ken adwentre foforo deba na ama omano akonkan education adisua ho asem apomodin ho asem economy no bibi foforo adwen foforo ni so ade foforo bi odeba a ebema yakoye ni echen baby aye wo sei no titu na ba omi ase ye nhwe but election there obi ani na ohwe but ba me boy nkoko say titru ni say hwe nipa no ni so ade ehu na dream pa o de ba na o de abeboa o man de tumpon ente no so meje tumpa so obetimi ahwe ni ema ni pi but ne titru as o gina so eni nipa no adwenkyere eni ni so ade nipa no fru chrome na oba na wa charging papa bi abeboa o chrome and so man and then what is the point enti eno ne kokwa opanyi no so de me no so me fo aso me gitum kwani me das
na kumia prof
yes sir etriye edipa mienu a se o hwe se omo prena nkofo bom de che obi a wo msa afoforo ka ho de na ya me rem friends se ewiem so nye sakrana bibia betumi asesa brebia it is a din kai fa ne a omampeni da mahama ekana gana for de ene bibremfo se den yankopon si ebo ye no enka tema de ye wo wa ne de adware come oba ayima ethnography of communication ya bibia ya friend say yen abi before ya mamre ni ye nipa suno ye collectivist anase anti-personalistic
just say nkenye pesaminkum
ya nwene ye nkwa ye die ho ye nye pesaminkum nya na ye nhwe ne a ye nkwa ebema yakọ animo esan se na nyame si boy ye no ye busua asem ne se ne ye si efuofu aye ho no obi a so ne yonkom kwa me wonim se udru akra bi ase na so mehwehwe teacher Jekum kotia hwa obi so teacher Jekum na wasa wonsa o maame nkɔkyerɛw ɔmo maame no mfie wa hanom ahwa nea ɔyɛ bi obegyae adi wachi ɛdo akoduru hansa hwɛsɛ preko pɛ obi ateamu sɛ bia bibia si obi bibia tɔ no so a wowuo wobam sɛ nkurasefo ekura no asefo nyina obia do kɔfo ma de kantasio obia enya ayam hyehyɛ bi sɛ yankɔ ebi ebetumi aboa come okɔ omo personalistic for no ha individualistic omo hyehyɛ omo so omo bi ekyɛ na come flat back flat 1 flat 2 flat 3 flat 4 the flat 2 no onim flat 1 no onim ni din there be na onim adwuma a wo ye enti obi tumi hye ha na ebi kura bibi atɔ no so ama wawu dadan no ni nua no nim come on we can tell ya won know where just students ya te paper and na ya de so ye ho so o de paper no kwa o de tu nipa kro ne dan nim enti bia room 1 o de to nanim room 2 now de come ya to mfimfin obi amfa paper no to mfimfin ya friend avis obi akọ no we bia nim avis nipa kro no nim se antone dan nim tinya ne dia wow o misa ba kono so se mahun paper bi eda ha newspaper bi ya wo dia na me dia obefre agency no say graphic corporation aka trom say sada no enya paper yes ya ha kanu ansa obopun paper bi da paper bi da no o so wa hyase agibia na sa na o musu bante ana ye de ye de ahumobro atenka ayam hyehye aboyen enti ye nyina nanka but say no ya nhwe ya asa ye yama de ye friend say ni bie no ene square yakọ ene bia ye krom tra ye yama age de nyame de boy ye no enti edidi akose ase se obi asamfo bi ho basa nso a hadwen enti nia president former president Mahama kan ya de a se nyina adwene ho se sa na nyame de boy ye de a adenti na ye koye nim no kwa bia mo de mo ameto bi ye swa no bia emema nsia mo nyina mfufuo edayo abakom media bom mo dia bom na ho na se ohun kontomwa asoto enka se fufuo no yasa aso ya de sa na tete ye na oyakwara enam no yete ne mpani mu ndipanmu no din ka atibi na de otoso atibi kwa me enru wa usapa so na yasa okosun kira o ma me no a ebia na ate kakra mo na onim se won so ekona ubanyini na won so wadi nka bete ayantiti aye de maaye se yenya kwan na gofo okofo mu a obi tuhu wapon a wo ba fie no otuhu afra ni nua no se odi kan e wo fie na bia wo abobo ho a wakacha so tweme na me no mbom enko ye fra bibia hahanguo gofo okofo mu no na nkwanta we pa fa ha we pa fa na o maka so se me na medi kan a me de aha we bi abancha aha me bu agu ho ntu duru ha utim hu se ma betwam dada uduru na aha bia ni ho a unim se memba uduru na o hwa aha no na se aboto a acha ase yedwan utim so unuan ko sanam na yede ekeka ye hu
communal living
yes communalistic way of living. And as I said, the acquire me dream me yire ne me ma ne me wo fa aserom nko ho
individualistic
enipa na wo krom no obi anka ho bi de kwa me eno na ya na de abawura amando sem so se oni mi party dia anka ho party ye tie na wo nka ho ana ukomu kra nso a omo hwa hu se wo ba da ben yes I brand na party ye bonto a ye pray na wo we ye ntumi nye sa se ye dwanafo eti nia omampani da da kana ye nyina ye mfa nkwa adwendwen mu am se na oka abefo asem na ye beba beka afa maame no a omuyi no to eno na no ogina so aka sabe ba omampani abede akire enso de enso a kwame de kwan so anu se ma yenhwe manyamsom emfra ya ni na niema ebeboa oman no isa say nipa na oba a bia obeba be ye president no emfa ho ne osom no betumi anya ensunsanso bi won so de but etin kana say ehwe nipa na ankra no ono ankasa ne suban tesen enipa bi wo ho a kwame opim no say ya no gina ba bi ogina enti emfa ho ne na nyamsom de why bonitrim so obeye da kwame na atike kan no say say ye hwe say nipa kro no de be pa na obetumi ayabo aye na ye bom modern ade nsem no ahodo ene akuakuo no ye bɔ ni nyina agu o sa ofa ahomasuade na so obeye ofa apomden a kwa bi so no apomden efri epo
I more ding
na epo
not
as a dot na yaye oba ethnosemantics a epo no yaye extension to refer to the joint do ni pedua so ofa wonsa tia kra utim boom ha no boom ha enti nipa no epo say do joint say na wo mu do bi sia no bi sa say umpom te say a o kire say wakwa no ba bia ehiesia no ebia ekoso say na wo kan say mimpom ye o mi kotodwe mi timtim men say me kwamu ye me kom mi timi twa ne say enti mimpom ye
nti apo
no ene akabom ade akabom ye nipa no enti tetemu ye ya na ya bisa o say umpom te say o so umpom ye bia me ho nhyɛ da mfa me papa ana ate kan bibi say ese ehwe obi a obehwe enyarewa. That's a very good cultural concept. Say yarewa free yare plus the suffix wa gyina ho maketwa nti krowa ele kra duawa de di twitwiri ese no dua plus wa ana ababaawa obi a wonya nyine ye iti say kan yarewa na dai say adwena o say enya yare bi e yakese bi meti pai me ho mfa me ebunu bi ache me nkete sa se adunsifo etumi ye ho aduru na ye shada hu yare bi a eye yare kese pa ye adunsifo ne akonfo ntumi ye ho aduru but say ya tena ho manyarewa no nyini ko yare pomu akese mu van for kan yarba I just say yare plus ba ketwa ada na ya tena ho ma oman a na yetumi so yare bia no say ya ma yare na jinhini a ye ho hwe a enye ye it say aban bia ba na kwame say wo manfo no wa pomden a adwuma ye bekoso sika bepie asa apomden na to ape a abadado a unya nkofo mba adwuma o wadwuma m nyina o hihim o woso it is obi ba say hu say apomden wo so de beko akoduru say ebekuaya hefa na ode ebeko esa say yet dudu mu kura dudu mu yo se minuane mamu na so ko se hiam se ko se be hiam pa nya mamu na ninua it is yet oman dudu a oman akwaye abu a wodi bibia hye ba bia yeyi na kwa me say ye krania ma bia otini di kra na obisa say adentina ye krawe it is say obia o prese yan to abama no kwa me ne ayahwehwem say enema we maako nyina apomden say yenya bambo sonko na yenya somdwe o ma prosifo ye o madwuma na nwumasua so eka ho a kwa me eno ne enhihya o de ba obi ebehwe na wato abama na kwa me medie say nhihya we nyina kete whistle na bepe nya dudu owura kete whistle nya dudu owura o kana o kekani nyina bobom meye we na edru semfie nan no emu ba akokora untumi nwie ya ba me ne ekoya na ya bai mikrom gogofu edin bi o your friend mama nkan aguo so that o ka agu keke enti menne omampani abede akire nso ya adwen se yen hwen hyehye a obi de beba adwen foforo bi a ebi a yen hye dan enhunu ye a beba nya ya kan nyina ekogina omanfo yiedie the well-being of the people say omanfo tio kronum omanyimu obetumi ho so yes me free a akodru b a ho na nye se bi ha eye mame eso obi atumi kasa sabe bank ha na nye kra ba bia na mete ekwan no come say ekwan de wa ba wan ka ekwan ho asem say ye beye say aye say aye kuma se kwan apratete yi de come ese ye hwe no nyina ene ye gina so ato aba masam no
Prof Medasipi Peace 104.3 yeah twa ye jubedi no so na Atik Mohammed Professor Kofi Jekum and Nana Akomia ewa. What opinion Jekum saying about our subculture of collective habitation is the very reason why I don't support this Father's Day, Mother's Day celebration. In a society where we live with our families and support each other every day, why do we need to celebrate our parents on a particular day? Kwabna Gbawe 0. We may be communalistic, but we are selfish. Opinion. Communalism works for us insofar as it benefits our immediate family, friends, hometown, or tribe. The so-called personalistic societies take personal responsibility, and collectively those personal responsibilities mass up to build a better society. We are allowing ourselves to be misled by religion. Critical thinking is what we should be practicing. I have this idea that a lot of road accidents are caused by a lack of urgency. Once someone sits behind the steering wheel and offers supplication, it's believed that God is in control. Control is therefore handed over to God. Driver absolves himself of responsibility. Kwekudia ena ede enubai famanyame syndrome. Abeku says nowadays people don't support policies and programs anymore. People support those who have helped them one way or the other before. That is also another one. Adventure, and then this one says, in Sawa, funeral donation means small drink. It is for the bereaved to serve people. In Sawa, in Sawa, just in Sakitwe. And I Danny Bibi Kessie.
You're free in Sanum Kosika.
Oh, there she Ajabeng in her show. Thank you for that one. And Sawa. Openye Jekum has said it all for me. Chairman General, I live in New York. I have fellow Ghanaians living on the same floor, opposite each other. Mine is room B, theirs is room A. You won't believe it. We don't communicate with each other. It is so sad in living like that. Yaufusu, Ewo New York. And a day and no. Well, interesting, sir. Near Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, former President Mahama Akanum. And no come on.
Come on, say, yeah, communal system. Said then, you fool fire when you're kicking a woman. Ye here in chi a bus are confused, yet they all form saying, or Mamma Brutal. Was that ye win ya someone? Anya shekra unyo bi e ka kire say de ekoso ni o ono kwa hye dem na ewi no a ewi ne sa nipa na oto ano so no nim ni din nim ni ya e de ewi ase no
na Kwame
yes sir
one who say obi free mu a ye timano e basro ba
yes empathy
basa nipa ni ti ase a Shall I grab a story be a PA and say now opinion being imagine a hospital?
Yeah, our friend if you for
now your friend if you for no moon piano. And a doctor and say, you can't show him say we're free. And pa, you did cran command bush for the say opinion free. No more a hospital we buffer so nam wafa say the sister minam chese. It's only part of the hospital. And this is a real story. On that hospital now you're showing a bush for some baby. Obi a fee. And see how na touch him like cry.
The if no more na a baby abusian do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say you transfer here because a time tested experiences of the people. No more fam sianuna ne passem bia ene no ko. Say ya hwe hu say unya wu pa wadofo no doso. Obi a person oba bebe. But enye say obi tiase no yan man nim kono so na ya twen so wu de ebe na yi.
But nipa ni tiase na say
me ni kono so.
Because we have monetized and commercialized funerals. Is there a way to demonetize funeral celebrations?
Anya ya ho.
Emfa.
Ya ho de anya djuma. Because I whole industry. A factory ni adwuma ya bie. Na omo de dem we no dosun. A dosun. But omo ye publication kwa ene art design ne sadia no ene omo mbeye receipt omo adwuma kwa eye mu asa na omo ye flyers ne no so ya ade mu na agro horo eto be yetimi fa agro be nan omo nya kwai kra mo was ngofo obonsa ensa no so ye say announce in sana ya boa atake buy also oboa 10,000 ya nkika na omo gro no omte wa keke what obi so me kwe no omo timi high gro 9 keteni nyonkro ni adoani na system sa enti industry no ni go na den
na matima no eswati no because sebi we dem sremika as a we area ebi mo mpa hen say ma say entem no kona
but what I'm saying yourself we say men kai o manfo nyina ya otumfo opoku ware a otosumi no ne penso o kan say ma obia emfa ensamra ayase emfa mesuma hoho na kan ente ensan ye toso o so say ayase ne emfa ma efie na eto aso de be ko no ma bade no ma borosete
for toa
enti industry no ni guoya oh yes and ada bia omde anyama foforo eba omo trensa omo adise de so abaya ye bi da omo to aso ese o yase na ewu niam ya de be kire ni bia nipa set 20
yeah what was say openyin egwanwa because enya wa memu ha so hwe ye nwa no muslim for dia chese it says brief and stark contrast to your idea stark na me ya kakra wo eye no no say reho obi afri mu condolences but do koye ye no 6-7 months after nipa na afri mu reho ne ko
oye no ba
on beji ni like na ka ni ji
ye no ba reho
there be nipa no kra ni njube un say at the funeral mo ahwere nipa no your work is catering.
Yeah.
You are not even giving.
You are not mourning.
To mourn. It's in a sense and for you and say, obviously private burial. It's not be your more kasa. And yes, burial grounds on the crown. But the whole 2 days, and it's sometimes 3 days. Wow, what show papa now, mommy and now nipa na we free you don't have time to mourn. The crowd now man no crowd no ye we are just so stressful we are just baby because that be 1 week
and I see sometimes and it can soon
oh yes
did you say sometimes every time
but the opinion say na we can me sure say we can get out
I'm not say atwam.
Oh, at least nya ho.
When you say insurance companies now they are fashioning products around
funeral policy.
And you can the banks crash you can start saving towards the death of your father or mother.
MC for Juma Ubegu
yes, that's true.
No go pay Juma for friend.
But what are you talking about? It's miniaba ajo eboje. Okete. Or adoa or shop or mom with treniama or ntoma ntade ade ye ne saa nyoma nyina or ye MCs or omom bebo nyom ne ade. It's a whole industry. Ain't nia okay na just say adwe egbeje onya adwuma nye. And ono so nya year nipa employ. Bebre
economic no say secret.
And Peter Square Airtime say omo on a live online cry. Say no live online feed.
Omo muntimimba. Say no dey.
Wati omo mu dware funu wo ho.
Oh yeah, yes.
Omo musu. Omo siesie no.
Omo ye high omo mkusu.
Okusu.
Because na can. Omo say arehunu kodada. Nti even busianfon cry no, they don't find it.
It is a show.
To even cry. Nti you have to go import cry.
It is a show.
But say cry say or funeral home so.
Yep.
In fact, omo cry omo boa because
it makes it
very simple.
And make it easy for you.
I think that
just say
because
I mean, two major funeral homes. I mean, in Lashibi and the transitions.
Yeah, and they are
80. Unye scanmana. Ya did that from ya bibia ya sorry wo funda koma bibia omo cremation this year be shifunu bibia ne no ho tete na moko.
I think it's better because in my view it's neither Christian nor cultural. It's become something else.
Yeah, hold on, a modernization and globalization.
Yeah.
No, but elsewhere, this funeral market. As a Ghana, funeral market. Elsewhere, it's
Africa, the Ghana and Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Because call a Madame for be a
people even celebrate death more than birth.
They might free. Now. He said the whole 2 days, regular 2 days. But I don't know. What's in a brochure? Saturday, Friday, you quite sorry. You call back to Parliament. Say you are near Kofi or can you say in a year? You call or Hobby 3 or 2 gates. And then you say, I'm not a more you know, baby. And that's you. Or what what that? What that saying? Oh, that's your movie. After my sorry, Honobia and Befier.
Yeah.
Or no more about
that.
Simple.
But try to be trabono. Try to be trabono. Now, say Malawi Vice President Thomas here.
You say I am part of your culture.
Yeah, yes,
yes. That's a business.
I bet you.
Kwame, Mami Kasem show. Who say the way I would see Chairman General. That's what be free more. Ukromo hine back say family house.
On medication,
family house. Family is the way I would see Chairman General or Penya Jekum. It's just I was seeing a family house near the party. And I pay before.
Oh, is it
yeah.
Why I did not say you know almost publishing fee. You have Busiano fear near Boo baby. I near Marseille. You been your baby at the Dano.
It is who we have become, not who we are.
I bet Dinsobes.
Eric Amposa tax expert says it's unfortunate, but we've allowed our beautiful culture to be destroyed by foreign cultures. There's an account proverb that says, and that really helped us to become one big family. Today, it's something else, and that explains why some people may have certain ailments and others commit suicide. Eric Amposa tax expert. Okay. Now, this is Professor Kwesi Opokwa Mankwa, former Director General Ghana Education Service. I'll say Ajoya Boy J and her group did marvelous at my mother's funeral in 2020. We love the performance of a Desium music group. Desium music group. So I think there you go.
Desium no.
Debbie.
I crack a CB. Calabash.
Okay.
And now, your sense you good time. Now, Obibo. The sound no. And deception. Wow. Desium.
Well, Kwame business will be a professor and stay in Jehu. I bet you.
What in a Professor Pokwa about Miniaba Ajoya Boy shop?
I thought he was going to contribute to the sad state of affairs.
But Nana Fredia says Atik raises a serious matter of concern about funeral parties. It is what it is.
What do you say? Me swano na obi wia. E ma no di abuada na nkron 9 days. Omunni fasting. But yeah ho no fasting no chese unni fufu unni apese. Ba utimi di dokun bia opebia.
It's jollof.
Utimi de amu bia opebia. Utimi nom kwampa bia opebia for 9 days. Na
chese fufu
ni apese nka ho. Ene na ye na ahoho na oma aba abesoye na ene ye ma omo dokono ye dokono ne nkwan ma ho come ene nkofo ekwaye na buffet no ho a fufuo la no sanja sanja mo de ma kofa ba no nti industry no ho ne ma no de wo fufuo no so za mame na wo ye fufuo no okowo no machine mu kra
it's a whole industry
still ohian nkofo mbaba boboso amesai obetuom ka sankofo no eda no nko mu nya dwuma wo krom ho nti eno so ye dwuma foforo
I think at this point there
I'm saying
just have to give up and maybe find ways to regulate some of these things because actually we have excess is kakra wo
baba ne kwanta ba kono se e ma ni payere no ye adwuma
yeah
even bobu sia so mu ya no mu bre o
na wo betua nti uni untimi mfa kwadworo ngram because o ma me bia ba bia ote no na wanyini nti sabre na so wo hase ebobo ho
I think Kenya better whole industry anyway Kwame, regards to your panel members, I lost my sister-in-law and the funeral has been fixed for November. She died last month. The reason why they fixed it for November, there's so much work to be done in the family house.
You
can easily tell.
Now, when someone loses their loved ones, when you see them weeping, support them with cash. Because apart from the precious life loss, the cost involved, some even develop emergency blood pressure and start looking unkempt. Yeah. The root of all evil is money, and our culture is gone. Kwame, I used to teach in the Muslim institution almost all my life, though I am from a Christian background. I tell you, if you see how the Muslims organize and bury the dead, nothing in this world would ever glamour you. Okay, Matthias here. Carry a funeral so say so simple that you will not want sad dinibium. I think it's a choice to make a funeral in your own way. Basically, the simplest funeral I've witnessed. Okay, is the one at funeral homes, Daniel Otrega East Hospital. Anyway, so at the end of the day, say focusing on policies, not religion. Show compassion for all. Let's pray for peace. But interesting conversation about young komo a year near them. Yeah, can't say in your Jumadin. I think,
Chairman.
Brian, a champion company, so man toss our hotels. I didn't ever.
Chairman, I'm going to cry.
Say only send the demonstration.
Chairman, yeah. Said,
could you to a black war with labor unions?
Chairman, yesterday today is the day after Sri Lanka. We hope to see her.
But answer now, bet to us, no. Ebiaka say. Organized labor for Ankasanomote Senate board no so. Now what were they doing there? And here one. Ebisaka says our hotels here Senate Ankasa ni hotels. So Senate was shares for company by hotels. But yes, hotels Ankasa we Labadi Beach Hotel free more. Niaka ni now more number. Until they are cutting their losses now.
Chairman.
And Ebisaka say in spite of all of this, say Brian and talk na day. Anyway, your comments.
Chairman,
I don't know if the demonstration has started though, but your comments.
Chairman, Obi Biara Uti and no Adajia Konakobwa. In fact, me free Hakra to see if I can make time to the place. It's very important. Chairman, it's about time we supported some of these initiatives to ensure say Numa look, Sunday and Shahaya, Odim says they are golden to live Ghana. Now it was supposed to be a partnership between Ghana government and some other entities. Says Yatong. Our master Dinukra is a friend Lancaster Hotel.
Say Yanton Lancaster for no ageno for a period.
Meaning
a lease agreement.
Which means government temporarily has
Nasa going to live and yet government dear biomo.
And I say that's the point that makes it Yaton. We offloaded our shares. And
Debbie, 1 second. Sometimes since our debates we can be emotional. But we share figures no. Let's just talk about Golden Tulip. Before Golden Tulip,
Continental
Hotel, run by State Hotels Corporation. You share figures no. And I buying ton shares maybe ma
Ghana, Libya, Arab Holding Glaco.
Yeah, they a partnership. They buy what percentage and a Libya for what percentage. And I'm pay management contracts. Golden Tulip. Golden Tulip is a management contract. You share the returns. Time I bank any Libya for what was the returns as against them and a continental. Then we can make an informed argument. So
the problem is not the transition from continental.
And into maybe say I take earlier say
down to Lancaster.
And maybe say I take earlier say if you talk say hotels they are not making any profit.
Chairman, are you telling me Golden Tulip was not profitable?
No.
It wasn't?
Well, according to those who owned it. Until they gave the management contract to somebody else.
No, me but
Banana Kumia F back from the point of Continental.
Yeah. So if what made it unprofitable? Was it because the management not one management no one number answer then? Because if a management question, in that case it makes sense to bring in new management.
Anyway, Tulip is not the issue here this morning.
Chairman, I think it's still like government shares never hold.
Miss say I don't know because it's been leased out.
No, government shares no that's all. In the end, if what government is getting from those shares, then we can see if it's worthwhile or not. So say no.
It's a government shares, which means as far as government shares go, no.
Are they getting dividend from those shares as against the previous situation?
Well, this is something we can look further into. But generally, I was just speaking generally about the fact that government jeopardy.
Okay, so government has 30%.
What was the percentage before then?
100.
Or it's still no.
I'm talking about going to Lebanon, Lancaster.
So it has reduced from
Libya
30.
Libya.
No. What
so
I'm saying is
70 Libya for the
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think so. If the government has 30%,
no. When he says government has 30%, is it now or the Equia Golden Tulip? Now government had 30 and Libya had 70.
We can investigate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to do further because this is an important issue. We need to investigate further. But coming to issues of Senate, it says yet as it says Senate ankasa a niska a pension a sika. It's just like a commercial bank. Commercial bank works with deposits. Deposit a sika no mudi yejuma. Enti bank na ankasa nshada ni sika omudi mankrofo as loans ni na sefo. Enti if you mismanage you can say deposit a sika a year eduko how be like we saw with the banking sector. No? In the same manner, when we say oh Senate investments ni being koyi say a ton and as if the question is what is making some of these Labadi Beach, for example, is it profitable or not?
Very profitable.
So why do we want to sell it? As a design, we didn't
can your motor
account. And I'm saying at the end episode ton idea edisika brain because Sasika na adi share pensioners ka. Sasika na adi share pensioners. And Tiabani said, what would go into your head to want to sell a major asset like Labadi?
Aside Labadi?
Which other hotels can you mention, Chairman?
La Palm, Elmina Beach Resort,
fantastic.
Ridge Royal,
Chairman, let me go to La Palm.
Lodge.
Are you telling me La Palm is not profitable? I've been to La Palm a number of times.
It's not. I think it's not.
No.
I think.
You see, why is it not profitable?
Nana Kumiaka Bibi about emotions.
I'm not being emotional.
No, Meka. La Palm is not. Labadi is.
Well, I haven't seen the figures.
Good.
I haven't seen the figures. But even if that is the case, what you usually would do is a DNT na La Palm and you're profitable. What you say? And then you find a solution to it, but not to sell it off. Look, Chairman, when him say, I dear a friend, motor races, you got
Formula One.
When him say Formula One can never be hosted in Ghana. The simple reason is that we don't have enough hotels to even accommodate Nkrofo Mbeba. What is here?
Here's an interesting one I think. Listen to this one. The organized labor members on the Senate board have been sworn to secrecy with regards to the issues discussed at the board meetings. Hence, they can't run to the public with issues discussed. Kwame, as a former employee of Golden Tulip, we're having problems with online bookings because the United States has blacklisted the hotel because of the connections with Libya. This affected the cash flow of the hotel. We could not get guests from a particular website, booking.com, and the other websites. That's interesting.
Chairman, booking.com is just one.
No, and the other websites.
Chairman.
Back to Odian Ansatika Tuaso. The general manager of Brekum Chelsea lost his grandmother, on Salah Day. That was yesterday. She was buried yesterday. Simple. The funeral is tomorrow.
No.
You can imagine if she was a Christian. Inko Joseph Nadian. Anyway,
Chairman, you see. So that's the question I'm asking. And it says here, are we saying all of a sudden, if the management is given to Lancaster, US would immediately say the company is no longer blacklisted? Let's be a bit more analytical. What you say? And if there is a binding constraint on the performance of that entity, we should be looking for ways. Buying Gaia president, you're not America for a fine. He can find a way. If you really think that this is an entity that is that we need to make profit of, you know what to do. Say State Department and your foreign affairs for Juma. You can have conversations and different diplomacy.
You think that because of your hotel, America will shift its foreign policy?
No. The America's foreign policy is not to ban everything Libya has interest in. German, they are exporting Libyan oil to the United States. Well, it's all about interest and how you diplomacy is all about how you have conversations with whoever has interest in whoever you have interest with. Well, but if we are saying it's been blacklisted, now you're paying for and all of a sudden the solution is a young new management and iron ton shares no crampo. What makes you think that America all of a sudden after doing that, we are blacklisting Golden Tulip? So you haven't solved the problem. And you are still going to have the same issues, if indeed that's the situation. But La Palm, for example, like I was saying, a DMBM na the problem of La Palm. Every hotel, Chairman Alisa, and I was privileged during the time I had Chairman Alisa almost closed down. What is here? But Yentimin Kase, the management and the owners of Alisa and Kase, because we went through Sa Ohio Mono. Yeah, beton. They brought in partners to see Swiss. Then it became Swiss. Alisa. What is here? And now when they went through surface, they took back their company. What is here? We can do an arrangement like that. By end yet, ye koto how ka krebi pe ye tong. Ye koto how ka krebi pe ye tong. Ya tunton bibia masisi akra kakra kano. Eni yan say. We anke sa state ini bia ye see ya mutunton ni bi ke bia be kan ho asem but I will not be as emotional as I am because we your pension sika obitimi ko pension busumi bia okoq your man sika be 400 300 cedis because
what if investment na dey DNA a more number
chema en me kan
inti yenya dey okay my due sika say your pension sika me the investment war hotel
invest kama
and a car nearby ain't it minya day
and make no chairman the investment you've made let's say service investment
okay
is there demand for that kind of service in this country or not?
There is
and if so and La Palm sabi and your hotel phone and funny say if the hotel is not breaking even and it's not making profit, it's running losses. It's so bizarre who say it's not because there's no demand for such service, no.
But it's not being run well.
It's not being run well. What I say? What will the owners know? Maybe you have to fire people, do it like make sure say you rearrange in your ma. Say anye here, then you see say ebia pembenzo ye dri die problems ni be esusin ye hu hwia enye ye, but idea that you still have control over. Uzio, the solution is yenton, because Martin Tonsa masisi adie ye ko how kakre bi mu na ye yenton, ye ko how kakre bi mu a yenton enya dia eboa. And look, I have said this with state enterprises. The worst we could have done with near Rollins in crop for beton MP for by almost Tumbi. The worst we could have done. Some of the factories in Nkrumah set up was to get into a PPP arrangement. Yenka say Abain, for example, some of the production plants, maybe ties. Abain Betimiaka say, look, we have the infrastructure in place, but ABC can be we invest our Fabra. We will still continue to produce, but we sold some of these things among for the warehouses, the churches, and all kinds of things. Oh, sir, and people who are politically exposed in particular.
Is all this noise because of who is buying it?
No,
you're all turning to Namanabana. Debbie, I think arbitrary.
Yeah, if it were anybody else,
I think arbitrary. So utie oro kuje to a black one. Utie labor unions. Utie nkomo ekoso ebe nyina. As onua akro na otono so ka ho ena ma dede na ba no.
It is one out of many reasons. If you ask me personally, I'm speaking to this because
okay, me too.
It's not because Brian is involved. If it anke you be a
maybe say Brian and Tom anke be dey.
No, anke the arguments would still be valid.
Okay.
Say a tongue. Okay. But what makes it worse is if you are politically exposed, the assumption is it's because of your influence, intina otimi and also makes it worse. When him say when it comes to management of natural resources and PRM, the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, HSA idea be a friend beneficial ownership. Usually you are supposed to declare obia osha company as hidden and unhidden individuals in a so declares assume he has an interest in this company and so on and so on. And sana you can proceed to even make bids for kind of blocks and the rest of them. Oh, and usually they describe microphone more politically exposed. Say so there should be an attempt not to allow them to be beneficial owners. Chema, it's not for nothing. No, yeka corruption and transparency. Ni nyina ni say obi are politically exposed. Usually the assumption is was certain influence be what he has here. And I feel say even though the explanation is he's no longer in management, but I didn't know whether you are in management or
not. Swiss for beto and somebody
it was
partnership with Alisa no. Omo la Pamanka be okay.
What's that?
Omo la Pamanka okay.
No, in my view, it wouldn't be. You see,
why is it that a private and I'm a partner say
and get partnership like Alisa did.
I'm sorry to cut you, but you have to be informed. They are
what are they doing?
Partnership.
What is the nature of the partnership?
60% of their shares.
So what is it? If they are selling,
no, they still would have shares.
No, yeah, what makes you own an entity?
No, 60 like 40.
No,
so it's a partnership.
You are no longer. You see, me were one plot 70 by 100. My cotton, say 50 by 100. Now cabe 10 by BB. Even though me that's a plot, but plot in the media. Maton.
No.
No.
You have
you
zero.
See, what makes you own me back there?
No, that's what you have zero.
What makes you own an asset? It's because of the shares. Let's say a firm. What makes you own the firm? It's because of the shares you have. It's as if you are trying to say Omubeye management is still owned by Ghana, but mu managing Maya. But me see Omuton because our shares are never coming back to government of Ghana.
You have 100%.
No,
that's the
okay. Intimate and Tong. That's our tick's position.
That's the point. Don't sell the shares.
Okay, what
it's management because the problem is largely management. Shares, but shares is what makes you own the entity.
I say 100%, and you must be careful.
And I'm saying that when you have a firm. What makes you own it is because of the shares you have.
Yeah.
Who ton shares now? What ton I don't know.
But on ton still our shares. So you are part owner.
So if I become a majority shareholder, I can sometimes look. Majority shareholders can even force you to lose the remaining shares. They can tell you, say, look, maybe no equity no so increase. This garden ABC. What has here? And the point I'm making is, Chairman, if the problem is management. What stops us from getting a good management to come and run Lapam for us so that it will be profitable? Mintias here, why are open tongue? Because if the problem, like I said, is there a need for such service? Is there demand for it? The answer is yes. Look, sometimes events big bagana. Yentiminya hotels scratch to accommodate some people. What I say? And it me and Lapam, like I said, and your hotel phone. I've been there a number of times. And the chairman says, see, it's not profitable. And then besides, at the end of the issue, maybe it's not being run well. Which means
maybe you should go and look at their books again.
No, I'm not disputing, say, if it's not profitable. If it is not profitable, it's not because there's no need and demand for such service. Maybe the way I hear running, no. Well, what you mean running company in such a way, say, you begin to run losses. Not because company has no potential to be profitable. Management is very important in running firms. So. And it's a management no number. Chairman Upa, you said then your next door neighbor, which is Labadi, maybe making profit, but you are not. ADNT, because ni almost show who the no. Ebi almost shadam fahusa, unlike Labadi, what you must say. And what do? Change them. And yes, and what makes it even difficult for them to sustain no arguments in this? We see Lapam is not profitable. In fact, not that. Let me rephrase. And you say it's not profitable. It's not making profit. There's a difference. It has a potential to be profitable, but CCID is not making profit. Na Labadi so a profit. You see who turning now. So it defeats the argument. Say it's not because it's because omunya profit into peso ujimu no. It means there's another reason, and that makes it even worse for Brian, because then it becomes the issue of because party penny or what bemuntina. Because if the argument is about profit, how come you are selling Labadi too? And to me, my issue is that if it's a problem of management, even if you have to contract private firms to run it, now you can begin to make profit. Do that. Why sell it? What is it? And there are a lot of buildings apart from hotels, a lot of snitch assets. Yeah, no more dying. Then chairman obeti. Man, I know. I don't want to mention areas. Who come Madina where baby? They used to have flats. Chairman, ebimu ya tunton fufu man crofo. Me and as I don't want to mention the year, but it's very recent. Sasikano entimin top lot wo area bimpo. Yet Tom 3-bedroom flat Emma Nipan. Me see plot crying to me top.
Atik Mohammed has spoken like a true Nkrumahist, a nationalist and a patriot. I salute him this morning. Former CPP youth organizer, NAD Eno Ebae. Obisu say, ask Atik, why should the state even own hotels? Nana Fredia NAD Eno Ebae.
Nana, this is an illogical question, but I mean view. Why can't oh no, I know where he's coming from. But why shouldn't the state own China? The Chinese government owns all kinds of things.
Only maybe a friend Trust Towers.
You mean him Trust Towers?
What is there a state there?
Wow.
Have you seen the state of Trust Towers?
Because they have refused. Chama, it's a management issue. Who are building now? Emporium.
Emporium, you're right.
Uko Airport. Unim says some of the floors are empty. Unim ni empty. Because omures ni prohibitive. There are adjacent buildings.
Emporium na say snit there.
Snit for there.
Okay.
Oh, na our Africa world. No more hobby. Once you increase the rates beyond Sabi reason, they will relocate. And as I say, so instead of reducing the rates and keep getting tenants, I didn't as well, and I will move to the nearby building. Well, at the end of the day, for years at your Obian occupy floors, when you could have easily reduced your rates and make money. When there are management issues, there are management decisions. And you want to mean because Emporium should be Emporium away. Eventually, if you decide to sell, you tell me say it's not profitable. Because you made it unprofitable. Oh, I think, Chairman, the leadership and the heads of Senate should not be political appointees. Because politicians now all bano. Look, food soldiers gonna come home. At the end of the day, he has to act like a politician. But Senate it should not be run by Obia, who has to worry about the pressures of food soldiers. Party for money pressure. Wouldn't say party for paying for ibi. They can tell Nipan say, oh, where's the simu daim bi waha? Ye pese Toby. Meanwhile, Omwadwin say you be rented then keep making money every month. Oh, you pay to. Ube one na ye tuntong. And the price is now a month for beton. Chama we yambe show. Oh, but an kanipani obia on your political appointee or any party for need. Oh, you cannot even bring such a proposal to Sir Pinino. But they see politicians and they even get fired at will without explanations.
Anyway, our taken his thoughts.
Over time, I'm going to join the moon.
Nana, any comments? And I maybe say Brian Antoine can say me baba.
You Kwame me das. Kwame me say asem na wa bono pono. I say nipa no a me okaso atopua na enye too accurate. Ono winning bid. Enye ono kwa na mbo be 5 or 6 companies. No no ne de e na ye best. Tenye so ono kwa na course mo mami we na mento. But meji tum say nipa no winning bid no. Esa ni dibre or what he said and no na babe issue. So because everyone say Oya Dia Brian is a senior member of the government and the party. 2 or 3 time member of parliament, minister of state, minister for agriculture. He's a senior member of the party. And he assets and Japadia ye senate diana ye ton bi and yes ye ton man. Ye ton bi aman. Once or ye politically exposed.
A big creative problem.
And I think that really is the problem. So you Brian Freeman dear Kwame. You have to also share the objective figures on the ground. Now Mijitum say a choir snake fast so so transparent. Say a seminal a was shrag. Yeah, the people that mean who demonstration on first of all. Because more organizing demonstrations. More they are saying not quite Danish right.
No, this one is for public awareness reasons. And you know,
I think why would they are saying not Danish right? Which is a constitutional body to deal with the matter. And so they are saying court. Now free court, would they are saying court now organize demonstration? What is the point?
Nana, let my vote count organize demonstrations when the case was in court over CICB.
Jose.
Missy, let my vote count organize demonstrations. We participated in some of them. Meanwhile, there was a case in the Supreme Court trying to challenge the use of NHS card for registration by a young demonstration. Okay. Sometimes it's for reasons of public awareness. Not because you want to
public in your way.
Okay, but anymore.
Me my dream in say. You see, what they call shrag, it allows the facts to come out. Say no, obi I can't there. Meti say evaluation no 100 million and a Brian Chia 62 million. But or to the bedroom so can there. Valuation just a CC shrag, a CC a snake because valuation you say 102 million and a shrag Brian Atria 60. But to call valuation done by Sam Capital, it's not true. But they are putting it out there. So to be the once a more they are saying now called Danish rag. Rather than more much ragging yen tem non on shen simulum tem. Non free will be the chef fats. But Kwame Nami can say. Who ye brand a champion free more? Unim say Trust Bank. Okay, bank referring to Trust Bank.
Echo Bank toy.
Unim say then snit there. Yen share dividend and I dem snit. Time a Trust Bank. Ena Echo Bank abeto. Enya so ma top eninya omo to shares ni bi. Nti bi no kasa say snit da so shares wo Echo Bank. Na yen hwe sika snit and a dividend. I mean, who's the American dividend will treat?
Yes, you know.
Yan see who an amfaswa. Snit enya from Trust Bank. Time a Trust Bank. Ana snit in Kuandia. Any now money Echo Bank aye partnership. Yan share emfaswa. So, unim say near for a bank be Social Security Bank.
SSB.
na snit they 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know ton shares ni be ma Societe General.
SGSSB.
Inti yen hwe time aye SSB. Na snit nko adia. Mfa so snit nyaye. Ene a omo ton shares ni bi Emma Societe General mfa so snit for enya. Mfa so pension enya. Udim say na snit HFC no more a big shares for. Yen hwe mfa so na HFC Home Finance company. Tama na ye snit nko adia. Mfa so mu nyaye. Na ene a omo ton shares ni bi. Say na Republic Bank say. Well, unim say na Merchant Bank. Na snit for there. Ena ye Universal Merchant Bank. Ye hwe mfasoa time ye Merchant Bank as snit nko adia. Mfasoa the breast rate. Ene na ye Universal Merchant Bank as snit was shares.
Mfasoa say ye who demonstration 40 against 40s for. MPP for no modimo akotini. And it is normal to sell to
no.
Because of since years demonstration.
I'm just looking at the facts. Yeah.
And I'm saying Toma 40s for no young demonstration. What was the reason? Let's see pensioners. Why boy me see why boy you have having was in fact Yannick Ken
Mami we Kwame Merchant Bank. Let's snit there. Yan hwe faso mu nyae. Na Universal Merchant Bank won faso. They have to also put up all these figures. I know them say Aluwex is snit for there.
I'm so bon for so more shares.
More majority shares. Onim sa hotel si Busua
is run down.
Elmina
Beach Resort. Beja run down. La Palm run down.
Share
Trans Lodge run down.
And Onim say La Palm. Sika snit ashre am say the top every Nana Kunidu Rollins no time. It's over $50 million.
Ashi.
Better than Omunya Capre in free. Yeah, La Palm. Omunya Capre in free. In fact, even Labadi Beach, no moon yet losses up to 2017. Because I'm a management contract. Now, Sikana the management contract, Sikana normal general, they had to be paid from Senate. Until say a sake is abroad for management. They're from Legacy Hotel or something management. Enti yen share the facts on the ground. Yen share the record of Senate shares almost over the period. We put the say hotels. I'm talking of the banks.
Okasa no obiso diaba or say I'm not a child in Ghana. Kwame, years ago, we had Gihok with 19 subsidiaries. State hotels, catering rest houses in all the regions. Let's remember Meridian Hotel, State Farms, Ghana Airways, Black Star Line, State Enterprises. They have all failed. Don't we ever learn? Kwejo Usuna Blekuma. Or see this issue of state enterprises.
We ran them down. They never failed.
Yes.
Themselves.
Well, we ran them down because of the state involvement.
Not necessarily, Chairman.
I think in Ghana with
some of the near distilleries, some they are surviving.
Now, do you know how many companies were under Gihok? Anyway,
we see Kwame, sir.
It's because of the way we treat them.
Kwame over there.
Anyway, but say Mami and Tom
Enti unim Ambassador Hotel.
Pa, I don't even picking there.
Okay. We can legacy.
British Isima Ghana independence. Japadia.
Where a Japadia. Omujamai. Brand new. So Yamamu independence. Yasensi hotel at the Amam. Ambassador Hotel. Yen quite fast. For 10-15 years. Na a pro is here. No more than that. Time I work primary school or New Era 2. Number one, I'm a war. To be a National Theatre System. Saturday, it was random. It wasn't fashion. Ambassador Hotel. And then about on shares, Nibiama company events. Moving pick. Definitely, Abba is getting something from Salmo shares. Shares now reduce. That's what but a home for so no buy any BB than when the whole nani ya bind their friend ambassador hotel and hey. Inti yeah share the objective facts. Now make sure say sa hotel see electricity so come even electricity over the period. Inti say pensioners fund they no be yes antin akutua electricity. E dey akutua salary. E dey akutua tax. Yeah. And SNIT should open the books and show. I'm sure some Koshraga the books in here and show. I mean, of course, I bind there 100% a year. There's no problem. I know pay you say a year, there's no problem. But say consistently now buying a free sika. What do you say STC SNIT will majority shares?
Oh, I see.
They used to pay salaries of STC staff.
SNIT?
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure, say, if up to today in Castillo, mutual salaries and mutual electricity, my and come on shares.
Because the problem was management.
Come on shares. But it's no, but you see, the thing is this: only guarantee, and there are still difficulties there that I can't speak.
No, you spoke about them last week.
But there are still difficulties. So, but if they were still paying salaries, and they were still paying, legacy debt STC from 2012 SNIT Provident Fund. Salaries are not SNIT.
So SNIT was running STC?
Since when?
No, some no majority shares.
Like when did they acquire those shares?
Those shares. They acquired those shares and acquire yourself. When him said 1999.
And Vanef buy.
And your ton man Vanef. Your ton man like any sale, they were supposed to bring in investment to revamp company. Particular bus. Your ton man one for investment number. And na old buses never honor knows on the edge. So it was worse. And a mine, and mind you, when Vanef was buying it, almost far quite be so. Time 1999, the SNIT Baby Shame.
By the way, you say Okujetewa Blackwood the to Joy FM say you are mismanaging and running down STC. Anyway, I think part of the demonstration.
Seriously,
I'm following up on it.
Kwame.
Yeah.
Tama Vanef a free mono. Oh, they got SNIT to buy Vanef out.
Who government got
government to buy Vanef.
That was a bad.
That is how
decision.
Kama Omobenya 80%. So they still have 80%. But I'm sure say a buying too has made some investment. So yeah, shareholders meeting.
They just wanted to buy it back and
but
have money.
Only okay Ghana Telecom.
Yeah.
Enya nim Samira na Ghana Telecom. Open telephone. Open telephone. It's not going by 3 months. Now buying 100% shares. And now buying a ton a ton 70. So that buy was 30. Me sure say and then just na Ghana Telecom Ghana Telecom na be Vodafone. Look at the investment of Vodafone the buy and there almost Antoine options be am telling. But me sure say buying 30% than all Vodafone. Onya home faso a chain time and 100% Ghana Telecom.
We can't speak to that because
no, the figures are there.
So government should not do business. I think doesn't agree. I think if you say government should do business. Yes. But Nana, obviously from Baby Alfino, government should share a buying in businesses in
we have deliberately run them down.
Government is in there, but not controlling.
Okay. A shareholder.
I buy a shareholder.
Minority.
Share record now. I buy a jai control no shares. You first a chain time and I buy a work control. The problem with SNIT in the sense. Nipa na winning bid, like I'm saying, are politically exposed.
No unjaye. Ebi ojaya de ne beba form.
But
why are they in the history, sir?
But it's the same way they
I think because the thing is running down.
No, what is making it run like? It's management.
I think.
Prof, I'm saying,
you need investment. You need investment.
At some point would pump money. That's
management.
Kwame and Yemfa Elmina Beach Hotel.
It's run down.
Okay. And then the investment that will be here to bring up Elmina Beach.
I don't think government has that money.
It was a scam. Anything is a scam. Who confirm management the management one betray management.
Yeah.
Legacy for no more running Labadi Beach up to 2017. Almost fees. Slid na nature.
Crazy.
They are not generating enough money to pay themselves.
But only say Ghana for GN Labadi has become profitable.
Ghana for more GN will be profitable. And no until me about way Elmina Beach. Sana hotel it. Just a bunny go for.
I think I'm serious.
Well, I'm saying the original construction, no man take care account of the sea. Until be
I think the Benny last time called Elmina Beach.
Well, until
when we call bear 1 year.
So also be any year. As I said, be go for nursing for. Maintain this sneeze was a scam.
No, they don't.
Na maintain the possess on board po be pension and cover pension for sika. And conco bu Labadi Elmina Beach needs in for. It's not some investment. Well, into this Shebusua. Who hear records no you find out that electricity problem to me. Well, as I say, you sign this sika a cocoa shame. Now this kind of shame, so I won't need any guarantee. So, ain't idea and then he said, Pobia or Babeto shares maybe. No one to didn't sika, or didn't sika shame dear. And when I buy or catch and say, Koe, no fees and boy. On ya. Well, objectively, we brand free book, but brand new until what can say? Or I quite politically exposed person. But me them point in say, you pen no or any objectivity. Assembly that shrag and there. Yema shrag coin no more shame. Obia dini na semne obia dini documents back up. Me cry put in no public hearing. No be uncle can say. And then we can take a decision.
Well, Prof Yampon.
I'm coming. Say, Oma Fabreni Yanti. Omo can management. Asem. Omo just any manage time so.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you time here. Come be mal tell me.
Prof.
Me members am did the COVID time.
Yeah, didn't yama.
Come say. There can you na come here one list. The beer na ya bind ya hwene ye. On the not on chair. Bebre free kwame nkroma penso. Yeah, I bind ya hwene ye. Eti mitwe say ya boy adua o. Say bibia ya bind ya de. Eni say ye.
Emfa o Prof.
Bia there na emfa no. Kwame. Ana say opa management nipa ya omfra brochire babe manage no nim management and chain Ghana for ya tete omo what say come here say university bia your business management technical university say by doing nyina obia ye entitia be pa na ama yen tumi enyankofo a ye de adwuma hye omo sa ombetumi ahwe ne yie kwame
Prof.
Niama be mienso. Me kan wi a no ma wi.
Me da se.
De din kai akesesam okuye. De toso mienu akesesam obo man yi. De toso miensa akesesam di o man yewu. De toso mnan akesesam e de o man yi sa akoye chi. Emma ne ese yenya no. Yenya. So ye ba brand de na. Bible say ye will bibia ho kwai. Na so nya ni nyina na ye ma ye. Ma wie.
Ye will bibia ho kwai.
Yes.
So
na abenfo say ye bold din shemra enye na ye bold din tumra gu so a enye
chairman and one will say
Prof Usuwe
baby
chairman one say I expect MPP for to be outspoken against this kind of sale and a purchase as I say ye ka say merchant bank ye tom majority shares the man for this phone chairman me say ye demonstration wo krom ha ko Kumasi ko yibi
I take my makers back on this one one will say it was the same matter for this you know there was a political involvement.
I wouldn't know because they claimed there was the buyer said there was no political involvement.
But we believe there was a political involvement. You know,
I know.
No,
I know. We all know the name.
And that in time make catch say the political involvement in Senate the sale. I'm sure that is the issue.
The issue and it was the same.
It was the same issue with the Fortis. The same issue. And now we know the process has been so transparent. Whereas Fortis
was not.
Now Fortis then what was the process? Way they published it in international magazine. In some say Shrag should take their time.
Time say the board of Senate would tell you say in fact union for where I say representative need do omunya. He's not working for them.
But Prof, Minia Fire at the back about tell Prof in your studio if the time is not properly managed, the fault is not that of your guest, it is that of the chairman general. He calls the shots. It's just like the hotel problem is a management problem. At this point, I'm shutting down this show because they say you're blaming some me and I'm a show narani. But Omuni said and Akumiani Atika Mantem. No management problem. Say no whether or not time no swam upon.
Come and you know about at the pan.
Then who's your guy? Now when Akumia or Banautinho. Me and me here we studio anyway program. We've come a long way, haven't we?